right. Well, that was the lovely beats of Trizzy. Feel free to check him out on IG. I think he's at Trizzy, I believe, or something else along those lines. That's his handle. Anyway, this is Big Mike's blog. I am your beautiful, humble host, Big Mike, coming to you from my home. Hope everyone's doing well out there amidst the world ending and all that stuff with the coronavirus. I'm not sure. I'm sure the world's not going to end, but I'd be remiss to continue on without saying my well wishes to the people who've lost their lives, the families who are affected by this. Obviously, nothing but well wishes coming from Big Mike. I hope everyone's able to recover from this. I know it's kind of put the world on hold because businesses are closed and the stock markets have basically disintegrated over the past month. Basically, Toronto right now, where I live in Toronto, we're in a state of emergency, which means basically all the businesses have been shut down pretty much. Actually, to be honest with you, in my opinion, maybe may not be a popular opinion or whatever, but I felt the government was kind of late to the party with that because a lot of the businesses proactively did shut down on their own. Like a lot of the stores in the malls closed, and gyms closed, schools closed, most stuff, and then by Tuesday, Wednesday, everything else closed. So that's kind of how it's been going here. So basically, this vlog obviously is going to be talking about the coronavirus and just kind of my take on it and my perspective on it and how I felt about it in the beginning and how my feelings have changed about it now, and and just my stance on it going forward, obviously, because I've been affected by it as well. So I'm just trying to give perspective on how I'm trying to move forward with it, and I hope everyone, or whoever watches this, can take something from it and is able to implement it in their lives as best they can. That's all you can really do, right? So, I mean, the coronavirus has technically been going on for a while now. Pretty much since I came back from my trip in late January is when I first heard about it, because I didn't know it was an actual thing. I was basically I was coming back into Toronto. I was at Pearson Airport, and I was seeing a lot of people, like Asian people in masks, and I didn't know what was going on. And it wasn't until someone had told me about the coronavirus. I'm like, what the hell's the coronavirus? And they're telling me, oh, it's like this respiratory thing. It was apparently came from China, and people were getting sick and dying and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, no, what else is new? There's some, crazy disease going on. But I didn't really take it seriously, to be honest with you. So then a month had, February came and went, and I noticed that the stocks, every time I would check the news, the stock market was always in red, and it was because of the virus had really been affecting businesses. I didn't really take it really, really, really seriously until last week. Like last week was when I really started to pay attention to this shit, because I started noticing like people were posting stuff on Instagram about like people going and buying like 5 rolls of toilet paper and buying a bunch of Lysol wipes and just buying everything in bulk obsessively, and for no real rhyme or reason. They were just panic buying everything because they thought the world was going to end. So that's when I started to pay attention. And then actually last Friday I went and did some grocery shopping, and it was a fucking zoo. It was a complete and utter mess in there. I've been to that grocery store the day before Thanksgiving. I've been to the grocery store on Christmas Eve. I have never seen that grocery store that busy in the 6 years I've been living in this area. And that grocery store I've been going to for the past 2 years, 3 years. And I've never seen it that busy. It was a madhouse in there. There was hardly any meat. There was obviously no toilet paper, which I still don't understand that whole notion. Someone maybe in the comment section can explain to me why people feel the need to buy like 5 rolls of toilet paper. But anyway, so that happened. So I was just kind of like, what the hell is going on? So then when Monday hit, and the premier or our governor here kind of stated that there was going to be preemptive stuff. There's going to be a lot of stuff closing, but we're going to play it by ear and see how things go. And then the next Tuesday, he kind of did a state of emergency where he shut down a lot of stuff. Restaurants are basically closed only unless they do takeout or delivery. And it's just been crazy. Like I was going out to work for basically Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of last week. I remember, was it Tuesday or Wednesday? I would say Tuesday especially was eerie for me because there was no one on the bus. The street that I work on is probably one of the busiest streets in Toronto. If you don't know it, it's Dufferin Street. and I had never seen that less amount of traffic on that street. In that, you know what I mean? Like, there was hardly any cars on the road. The way I described it, it felt like I Am Legend. Like, if you guys have watched that movie with Will Smith, that's how it felt like when I left my house. Like, I felt like it was I Am Legend. And it's very eerie. It's very, very eerie that, this is going on. And, everyone has their opinions about it. And, I go on Facebook and everyone has their conspiracy theory shit and, talking all this stuff. And then now that there's social isolation, people are freaking the fuck out because now they have to stay home, and they've never had to stay home before, and they can't manage. And there's just a lot of stuff about it. So that's unfortunate. I mean, it's just crazy right now. And even for my job, like, I'm currently laid off. It just was one of those things where we were kind of going in, me and my coworker, and our services that we kind of refer clients to were all closing. And it kind of got to a point where I had said, what are we doing? Like, we can't really help the clients the way that we want to. And on top of that, the mayor and the prime minister and Donald Trump and everybody saying, social isolation, social distancing, don't go out unless you need to. Meanwhile, me and my coworker are going to work every day, and we're just kind of feeling like, what the hell are we doing? Like, we're putting ourselves at risk when we shouldn't be. So our boss kind of made the decision on Wednesday to say, you know what, let's just close down stuff, because the city basically dragged their feet and dicked around and didn't really get back to us in terms of what they were trying to do. So my boss decided, okay, we're just going to shut shit down. So she shut us down, which was unfortunate, obviously, but I'm not really stressed. I mean, I already applied for employment, so just waiting to hear back from that. And, I have food in my fridge, and I have, some money to get me by. So I'm not really tripping out as much as everybody else is, obviously, because some people haven't saved or weren't prepared for this. I'm not saying that I saved money to prepare for this apocalypse shit that's going on right now, but I certainly try to save just in case something would happen, because you never know, right? So I'm good from that aspect. So I mean, I think for me, like, my stance on the whole virus is just crazy. Like, I actually read up on it on last Friday because I was curious about what the symptoms were, just so if I caught it, I would know. And it's basically just like a really, really severe cold that you can't get rid of. And my coworker actually said it's one of those things where it's like, you could get it, and let's say, excuse me, sorry, I'm not bored, I promise. She was like, if you get it, let's say if you get it on a Monday, and let's say you get better, by Friday you're gonna get sick again. Like, it's one of those things where you can never fully get rid of the cold. Like, it's that severe, and that's one of the things. And I'm sure there's other things, and people can comment on my thing and tell me all the other things about it and other symptoms. But I just thought it was crazy. Like, I still think this whole situation is crazy, and it's scary. It's like, I think, and I said this to my sister now, and I think me and my sister both agree. Like, during this time, you're gonna see the good in people. You're going to see the people out there. They're going to help their fellow man and help their neighbors and be supportive and loving and all that. And then you're going to see the flip side. You're going to see a lot of fucked up, nasty, disgusting people show their true colors. And that's the unfortunate thing. Like, even with the toilet paper situation, like, I posted a meme on my Instagram about a week ago with people in a line with like 5 rolls of toilet paper, and it on the caption at the top said, if you're this person, you're a fucking idiot. And that's basically, to me, the best way I could describe it. Like, I don't understand why you're buying 5 rolls of toilet paper, 5 big things of toilet paper, and meanwhile, you don't need to. Like, even the premier said, I don't understand why people are buying 5 things of toilet paper. We have more than enough supplies to get people by. You do not need to panic buy 5 things of fucking toilet paper. It's the most stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. And on top of that, from what I've heard, the diarrhea is not one of the symptoms of coronavirus. So what the fuck are you buying 5 rolls of fucking toilet paper for? And then I saw one thing where there's this couple that spent $70,000 on fucking Lysol wipes to sell. And in my opinion, I said, I hope that no one buys a fucking one Lysol wipe from those motherfuckers. Not one, as far as I'm concerned, because that's selfish to me. And I saw someone say, well, they're just trying to make a buck, man. They're just trying to hustle. How are you hustling when you're trying to bleed people dry, bro? Because how much are you going to charge for those Lysol wipes? Like, realistically, you're not going to charge what the retail for them. You're going to upsell them. You're going to charge them for like 20, $30. And you spend a year's salary on fucking Lysol wipes. So obviously you're doing it to sell to make a buck. You're not doing it to help people out. It's not like you're selling that shit at a discount. You're selling that shit probably 3 times, 4 times what you would normally charge. Because you're a fuckstick and you want to make more money off people. You know? So, and for me, bottom line, I don't respect that at all. And I would say to their face, and anybody who's doing that bullshit, you're a fucking clown. And the one thing that I'm glad that Amazon and I think other places did was they stopped people from trying to sell toilet paper and Lysol wipes on Amazon. They stopped that shit altogether, which was good. So, I mean, kudos to those companies for actually taking a stand on that shit. So you don't see these assholes out here trying to fucking take advantage of shit like that, which is fucked. So that kind of bothered me. But overall, like, I just think my perspective on it is just a little bit different. Like, I know while people are stressed out, obviously, because they have to stay at home and or, you know, they made their financial situations now taking a big dip because of it. And mine certainly has, definitely. Like, I had plans and all that stuff. Like, listen, I had plans. Okay, I'm supposed to go to a Raptors game tomorrow, but I'm not going because the fucking coronavirus. I was supposed to go on a trip next month. That's not happening. I had to postpone. I had to move it until later in the year. You know, like a lot of things I want to do, I can't do. You know, I've been busy really for the past month and a half. I have been busy like out being social for a month, and now I can't even do that because of this shit. So it's frustrating, obviously, and it hinders people's lives from that perspective. But I mean, I just think for myself, it's either glass half empty or glass half full. You know, you can look at this as like a hindrance and you can't move forward, or you could just look at it as, listen, this is going to give me a chance for me to kind of recharge, get my mind right, and do other things that I want to do. You know, I've said for months to people that I want to kind of do other things outside of my work. You know, I want to start acting more. I want to do my podcast. I want to start really pushing this vlog a lot more than I have been. And now that I have this time off, I can actually do that. You know, so why not? Why, instead of bitching and complaining about, oh, well, fuck, I don't have a job, or oh, fuck, I'm not working, blah, 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 blah. I'm in all the stuff I said I want to do, I can do now. So why not do it? You know, and I think that's just kind of my mindset now about it. And that's why I'm looking at it more as a positive thing. I'm going to work out. I'm going to read. You know, I'll have my lazy days. I'm just going to play video games. I've been watching Jack Ryan on Amazon Prime, and I just started watching Treadstone on Amazon Prime, which are great shows. You know, but also too, like, I want to also do other things as well. Like, people, I keep seeing on people's posts like, oh, I can't take the self-isolation. I hate being in the house all day. Go fucking take a walk. Like, go take a walk. I went for a run today. I didn't stay cooped up in the fucking house. I went for a run. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because they're saying self-isolate doesn't mean that you have to stay in your house all motherfucking day. No. All you got to do, basically, is just balance out how much times you're going out. You know, that's all. Just balance it out. And not be out with, like, a bunch of fucking people all the time. Limit the amount of people that you're around. And as long as you do that, you should be fine. You know? Because my whole thing is, I want this shit to blow the fuck over. You know what I'm saying? Because I figure, listen, winter has sucked this year. Okay? 2020 winter sucked. So 2020 spring is going to probably suck ass too. So let's get this shit nipped in the bud by spring, so that at least we can all have a fucking summer. And that's my mentality. Obviously, like I said, this sucks because it's hindered a lot of shit and it stopped a lot of people's progress, and certainly my progress, but I guess I've been through worse. I've been through worse. So for me, this is not something that's going to completely stop or hinder my life. Like, my life continues on, whether coronavirus or no coronavirus. My life continues on. It's just I have to adjust now to what's going on. And that's pretty much it. You know, I mean, I'm handling it pretty well. I've been basically self-isolating for the past, today's what, day 3 or day 4? Day 3, sorry. But in all honesty, like, the reason I remember told this girl, because this girl's like, how are you handling self-isolation? I said, honestly, I've been self-isolating since the beginning of the fucking year, so this is nothing for me. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, because I'll go a day where I'll turn off my phone and I'll turn off my iPad and won't talk to a fucking soul for the whole day. and I'll just kind of read and work out and do other shit. Like I don't, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm good with this. This is fine for me. Now, for someone who's an extrovert and wants to go out and do a bunch of shit all the time, they're probably fucking jumping up and down on the fucking walls. But for me, I'll survive whether this happens or not. And that's just kind of my approach. And I'm just, I'm lucky. Listen, I can sit here and complain and bitch and moan about this stuff, but I got food in my fridge, I got a roof over my head, and I got money in my bank account. So I'd rather stop bitching about fuck shit that doesn't matter, that's not important, and appreciate what I do have, where I have a good friends and family that are checking in on me and I'm checking in on them, than worrying about stupid shit like I can't go outside. Who the fuck said you can't go outside? You're choosing not to go outside because you're a fucking moron. Take your ass outside, go for a motherfucking walk for an hour, and then you come back and you feel better. That's it. Stop complaining. And I think that's my word of advice. Like, this shit needs to blow over. And we all, as a society, as a whole, need to be responsible in terms of making sure that we're taking the necessary steps to prevent this shit from spreading and getting fucking worse. Period. Whether you think it's a conspiracy theory the government created, I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. I don't care. Let's nip this shit in the bud now so we can have a fucking summer and the rest of the year can go on without a hitch. Because it can't get any worse than it's already been. Okay? So I'll leave it at that. And to the people out there who are fucking buying large quantity, like buying panic buying stuff like meat and stupid shit like that, even with the meat, okay, I'm fine if you're gonna buy all that meat. You better make sure you eat cooking all that motherfucking food. You're not just buying that shit out of fucking panic. Just like with the toilet paper, you better make sure that you bought 5 rolls, double roll fucking Royal toilet paper, you better be using all that fucking toilet paper. Otherwise, you're a fucking idiot. And I'm saying it to whoever the fuck is doing it. Because the saddest part about it is I went to the pharmacy on fucking Tuesday, and there was an old lady who was spent damn near 15 minutes walking around that whole fucking store trying to find toilet paper, asking me if I knew what the toilet paper was. Like, I work there and I don't. Luckily, she went to the cashier, and the cashier had put some toilet paper aside, and she was able to buy a pair. But that's sad that older people came to get their fucking supplies, because you young fucks and you dumbass adults want to sit there and be selfish. So stop that shit. You guys should know better. Because if that was your fucking mom and your dad doing, like, that would need those supplies, you wouldn't do that, right? So why the fuck you doing it now? But anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that, man. Because this shit's gonna get on my nerves otherwise. But I want to thank y'all for watching. Listen, people just need to have a different outlook on this shit. And this is an opportunity for you people who bitch and moan about your job, who bitch and moan about your life, that you're not doing anything, you're just working, come home, and da-da-da-da. This is your opportunity now to do something constructive with your life. So the question is, are you going to do something about it, or are you going to just bitch about your life? Because at the end of the day, it's up to you. It's no one else's responsibility to change your life but yourself. And on that note, I'm out. Bigmikes vlog, peace and love, all that jazz. I'll be signing off, but I'm going to hit y'all up with some other vlogs at another point. If you have any other vlogs you want me to do, feel free to hit me up in the comment section. If you want to follow me on IG, Facebook, you let me know, and I'll certainly add you. Anyway, I'm out. Peace.